Hey everybody, welcome back to Gun Tote Minnesota, and today I have the last installment of the 3. This is another challenge that is 4th of July themed, so I've done some fireworks kind of stuff, that theme going on. The very first one was shooting out a sparkler at 25 yards with a Springer, and that is hard for me to say. So I did that, and I just barely got it. Maximum of 5 shots were offered for that, and I got it in the first shot right before it burned out. That was cool. The second challenge was with rim fire, and it was with mandatory using an auto 22 rim fire of some sort, long rifle only, not Magnum or 17s. And that one was, if I remember, let's see what I do for that one. I did matchsticks, and I think I shot on a really windy day on that one. So I did 10 shots, 10 matches with a few sighters. That one I allowed 4 sighters, and in fact, this one I'm going to be doing at 100 yards, and here is the challenge with this one. I have 10 poppets. You guys remember poppets, the ones you throw at the ground and they pop, and the kids kind of like those things and pop them in your fingers. Those poppets are pretty small. They're just a little bit bigger than a .223 bullet. They're a little bit more like a .308 perhaps, or a 6.5 maybe. And I'm going to say we're going to limit this one to .223s. So it doesn't matter if it's a bolt gun or a gas gun, whatever .223 you have. I'm going to be shooting this old Savage 12 FV. I've got so many rounds through it, a little bit burnt out at this point, to be honest with you, but I'm going to shoot some VMAX bullets, which will still do okay. And I've got 10 of the, man, I got a lot of mosquitoes. I've got 10 of the poppets down there taped to a piece of cardboard. It's a little windy and it has been raining off and on, but I don't think that's going to stop me from being able to see it, because I'm going to be using this optic sent out to the channel by Blackhound. This is their 3-24 Emerge. This does happen to be the Gen 1, the older version that has continuous lines through the crosshairs. So it's not a center dot, and this should be a challenge for me. I'm kind of having fun with it. I could have chose something with a center dot, but I like the glass. I really like the scope, and I love this old rifle. It's I don't know, it's sentimental at this point. So I'm going to try to shoot for those things. I will probably have to be on 24 power. I think I'll have to be on 20 or 24 power with how dull the light is, but I've got that big 56 millimeter objective. That's going to help me with my conditions today. I think a lot of this is going to be down to good ammo, good trigger presses, good comfort behind the rifle, and I don't mind if you shoot it prone or if you're maybe off a bench like I am, but I'm going to have to make sure that that parallax is really, really tight, because follow-up shots with this, I'm going to try to do it relatively quick. I want to shoot in the same wind. I don't want to wait 5 minutes. And so there are no time constraints. You can take as long as you want to take the shots. You only get 1 shot per poppet, so 1 bullet per. But on this one, I'm going to allow for 5 sighters at 100 yards. It just needs to be on the same piece of paper that you have your poppets taped to. And so let us see those sighters. Let us see the corrections you have to make, and then go from there. So this is all cold bore. Each one of these days I have not pulled the trigger a single time before I started recording. So the first video, the second video, it was all cold bore to me. I did my sighters cold bore and made corrections off of that for the day, and then went for it. And I'm gonna do the exact same thing here. No shots through the gun for the day other than my first 5 sighters, which I will definitely take those. I'm not sure what this is zeroed for anymore, to be honest with you. And then from there, I'll load up 10. And I'm going to go for it and see what happens. So I'll be spotting through a Maven S3. Once again, thank you to Maven sending that out to the channel. That's been phenomenal. The only thing that's going to hold that image back for you guys on your end watching this in video is the fact that it's through a phone. The phone degrades it just a little bit. The AI doesn't really like going up against a scope like that. I don't know what the deal is. But I'm going to shut up, and I'll take my sighters, and we'll see what kind of corrections I have to make. Hopefully the wind dies off, and it'll be a little more predictable. All right, I'm gonna go for that very bottom left square. I'm gonna try to do my sighters against that. All right, there's my 5. This might be a little more burnt out than I thought it was, but I'm still gonna run with it. Here we go. Whoa, that one went high. Yeah, that one went pretty high too. There's 10. Let's go see what the damage is. Sorry, I forgot my microphone back at the bench, but actually I did get a couple hits in there, a few hits in there. I'm gonna count them up with you. One thing I would have redone if I could go back is I would have found a less glaring tape. Actually, I ran into an issue where I couldn't even really see this. I couldn't see this one right here because of the glare. It was so bad off of the tape. So there might be, this challenge might need some fine tuning for how to secure them to the target in a way that you can see. It probably would have been better just to tape the tails of all of them against this, and then you could clearly see the white better. Another thing, my reticle, because it's continuous and not a center dot, I actually was completely hovered over the target, could not see the white there. So that was just a fun extra challenge. But here's what I got on a less than desirable day. So the first one impacted a little high. Second one is an impact. Third one is close. I was real close. The fourth one, it's really close, no impact. The fifth one was an impact. The sixth one was a direct hit. That one actually shredded it. And then a little high, a little high. I tried to correct and I went a little low right. And then my very last one, the 10th one, was a direct impact as well. So that's cool. So counting hits here, and same as the last challenge, any hit on any part of it is going to count. If the bullet touches it, let's count it. Be liberal with it. I'm not trying to be a stickler. It's already hard enough as it is, especially if you're using an old beat up rifle with less than match ammo and all that. You know, it just be liberal with it. But what I have are 1, 2, 3, 4 very clear hits. So 4 hits out of 10, and I had 5 sighters. It looks like I was a little high. I was aiming for this corner right here, if you can see that. I was aiming for this corner, and there were a couple high ones in there. So is that the bullet? Is it me pulling the trigger? It's been a long time since I've shot it, and since I'm just doing this cold bore, it would make sense to me that it's one or the other, or both, or a combination. Not too worried about it. But that's what I got, guys. 4 out of 10. I'm actually okay with it. That wasn't the worst for that old dog with that ammo after so many years, with so many rounds through it. That was pretty cool. Not too bad. Well, there you have it, everybody. 4 for 10 is what I ended up with. You know, I had some variables to work through there, and I know the people watching will also do that. Some of them I imposed on myself, and some of them were just the weather. The rain, which it did stop raining now, and the wind. That doesn't help anything, but I'm only at 100 yards, so really I should probably be able to make at least a few hits on even my worst day. Things that really helped now today were really good glass. Blackhound optics, Right-On optics, huge fan. The 3-24 Emerge and then the 7 Conquer, I've reviewed both of them, and I really, really like these scopes. I think they're a good deal. I think they're very clear, and for the money, they're actually hard to compete with, considering their features and some of the things that they bring that are unique to precision hunting optics or precision long range optics. I would actually call this Emerge with the older reticle, which I have now. I would call this a little bit more of a hunting optic, but it obviously does just fine. I mean, if you can shoot those little tiny, less than quarter-inch targets at 100 yards, and going 4 for 10 isn't the worst. So I think that's okay with this. Things that helped, again, the Orcs chassis was phenomenal. Savage, they make great stuff. If I didn't already say, you should watch my Savage 110 Elite Precision reviews. I've done multiple of them. I just did another one on the most recent iteration of it that was sent out. It was a recent production, at least, from Savage. Watch that video. But this old guy, thousands and thousands of rounds through it. It's a 1.9 twist, shooting those 50 grain. They're a VMAX bullet, I believe, from Fiocchi. That wasn't half bad. I'm actually kind of impressed it still does well. I'm going to rebarrel this probably really soon with a buddy and get some sort of full contour 1-7 or 1-8 twist. I'm looking forward to that, but man, this rifle is just nostalgic for me, and I'm pretty comfortable with it. Has a decent trigger for pull weight, had a good bipod, and then when it came to spotting, even though the lighting conditions were so bad and my phone doesn't like being mounted up here, I love the Maven S3, so big shout out to Maven once again. It's not just a spotter for hunters. I think it fits really well in the hunting scenario, elk spotting, glassing hills, that kind of thing. It's an awesome optic, but for me, I've been using it for even beyond a mile. I've been spotting with it quite often. Fluorite glass is amazing, breaks down really small. I just like it a lot. Sunway Photo provides tripods to my channel pretty frequently, and I use them. I just used one in the competition just last week. Before that, the month before. I use their tripods for spotting, shooting, and sometimes videography, but I also use a lot from Vanguard, and my first video was sponsored by Vanguard, so check out Vanguard. In fact, the tripod that I'm filming on right now is a Vanguard tripod that has just released its carbon fiber. It's ultra light and it's very compact, and so I think I caught most of the sponsors. Last one, oh, one more. Demco Knives. If you want to support a high quality custom knife maker, Demco Knives. Now these are productions, these right here, but he has customs on his website. This is in 20 CV. Extremely happy with this Cub in 20 CV. One of the best EDC blades I have ever owned in my life. Huge fan and very comfortable. So thank you to all those channel sponsors who helped make this possible. Thank you to those of you who served in the armed forces and folks who gave a lot or all to help us have democracy and freedom. And ultimately, the very last thing I want to mention is thank you to Jesus. Thank you to the Lord, our God in heaven, who gave us an opportunity to have spiritual freedom. All the freedom in the world, all the libertarian freedom you have in your country and rights and democracy, that's all great. But if you gain the whole world and lose your soul, you've gained nothing. You've lost it all. And through Jesus, we can have eternal life and salvation. And so I want to say thank you to the Lord for freedom in my life, spiritual freedom, which I think is the best kind. And I love all you guys so much. Thank you to my sponsors and the people who help sponsor videos or my whole channel. I really appreciate it, and I want to do more stuff like this. If you like this, would you go ahead and comment, like, maybe share the video, and definitely go ahead and try this. Even if you don't post the video, try this. Do it at home. Even if you're watching this months later after July 4th, tell me down in the comment section how many you got out of 10. I would love to know. Tell me about your setup, your build, the weather conditions, what you thought you would get, and then how many you actually got. In fact, that's a great idea. Maybe you should comment first how many you think you would get with your 223 bolt action, and then come back and comment after you do it and tell me how many you did get, or upload a video, which would be awesome. Tag me in it. That's GTM Gun Toting Minnesotan, and I will come watch your video and give you a comment as well. Restart. Hey everybody, welcome.